will get started. 大家好，
Great.
欢迎来到乐见的顶级技术美高访谈系列。今天呢，我们请到了Berkshire 学校的招生办主任 Jamie Goldsmith。今天很高兴请到这么顶级高中的招生办主任，然后今天他们给我们带来他的高中的独家分享，然后也可以回答家长的问题。所以呢，我先简单介绍一下。Jamie, let me just briefly introduce you to the parents. Jamie 呢，他不但是这个招生办主任，并且呢，他是这个他们宿舍的管理员，然后并且是varsity hockey 就是女生的这个冰球的教练。还有我觉得一个很独特的，就不单是冰球，因为一般一个学校只有一个体育的教练，但是 Jamie 也是varsity 高尔夫球的教练，所以我觉得这两点是可能大家比较关注的。一会儿我也会问他一些这方面的经验因为现在我知道很多家长学生都是会让孩子这个接触冰球。刚有个家长跟我说，冰球也是学生这个喜欢的，中国孩子喜欢的一项体育项目。然后接下来呢，Jamie 呢加入了这个 Berkshire 的招生办团队，在2021年，因为之前呢他其实是这个招生办主任在 Frederick Gunn School 大家可能也知道这所学校 Frederick Gunn， 然后呢之前也是他们的这个就是国际叫 multicultural recruitment 的这个招生官。那之前呢Jamie 老师为什么会是这个冰球的教练呢？在这个Berkshire 学校，因为以前他其实就是专注于冰球，然后他毕业了以后，其实他是在一个专业的冰球球队，所以非常了不起然后这些的话，以后我们可以再细细问他这方面的经验。Okay, Jamie, without further ado, please go ahead. I made a brief introduction for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Diego. And thank you to Joyview for having us, the Berkshire School, on this platform. Really exciting. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this evening as you're just wrapping up your day. I am just getting started mine here in the U.S. in Sheffield, Massachusetts, and excited to share more with you about the Berkshire School and what makes Berkshire Berkshire. We'll start with just a quick introduction of self, although Diego just did a great job of that. I am an associate director of admission here at Berkshire School. This is my second year at Berkshire. And in particular, my main role in the office is the director of international recruitment. So I'm very excited to be speaking with you all today. Outside of the admission office, I am also a house head of Stanley Dorm, which is a female dorm of 10th through 12th graders. I advise a set of 4 students. As Diego mentioned, I coach ice hockey and golf and live here on campus with my partner, who's our associate dean of students, our dogs, our cat, and definitely the family's favorite part of campus is our mountain, which we'll talk a little bit more about. And this picture here is of us in a lean-to here on campus.
Okay, allow me to translate. 刚才 Jamie 老师说了，这个他是目前伯克希瑞的这个招生办主任，并且是管理这个尤其负责国际学 Stanley Dorm， 他也是 Stanley Dorm 的这个学生的管理员，算是这个负责人吧，这个宿属然后呢，目前的话。她跟她的跟她的丈夫一起住在学校，然后她的丈夫是 associate dean of student， 这个翻译过来就是算是sorry Jamie, it's hard to translate associate dean， 就是可以说是副校长级别吧，在这个 Berkshire 所以她的话，其实她觉得这个生活其实跟学生在一起住在一起是非常开心的。Thank you, Jamie.
So here's our mission statement. Rooted in an inspiring setting, Berkshire School instills the highest standards of character and citizenship and a commitment to academic, artistic, and athletic excellence. Our community fosters diversity, a dedication to environmental stewardship, and an enduring love for learning. Ultimately, Berkshire School is a school that prepares students to be dynamic learners, and we equip our students with the skills needed to really navigate the ever-changing landscape of the 21st century.
这个的话是他们那个 Berkshire 的理念啊，因为我觉得最重要的是有3个。第一个呢，他们这个社区其实是非常注重这个多元素和多样化的。第二呢，他们很注重环境啊，对环境的认知和保护。第三呢，就是他们对知识的渴望和热爱啊，我觉得这个3个说的非常好，可以完全体现他们这个理念。Agree. I was saying these three sounds very natural. Like they're not like really, one of those like high standard things like people never do. It's actually very realistic. Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll talk a little bit more about sort of that balance we're able to strike here at Berkshire between offering a rigorous program and being a supportive community. But we'll show some fast facts here.
Okay.
We're a school of 425 students this year. And this is the first year in school's history since opening in 1907 that we have hit gender parity. So we're 50-50, the same amount of male students as female students. The first female student arrived at Berkshire in 1969. So we're really excited about that milestone. I think attractive for especially international families is the fact that we are 90% boarding.
Wow. Okay.
So most of our students are living on campus. And then just a lot of individualized attention in the classroom with a 4-to-1 student to teacher ratio. We offer 147 academic courses. Our average class size is 12. We have 17 advanced placement classes, 34 advanced classes. And what is unique to Berkshire, and again, we'll cover this a little bit later, are 10 signature programs, which offers something for everybody. So that's sort of our, just some fast facts there.
Okay, wow, it's really balanced. Yeah, I like that 50-50. OK， 这个老师Jamie 老师说他们有425个学生，然后呢，在这个学期已经达到正好是50%啊，是女生50%是男生，那这个就非常平均了。然后可能有些家长喜欢的就是因为其实住宿的学生越多的话，他的活动也会更丰富嘛，因为大多数人都在学校，所以他们是90%啊是住宿的，所以这个比例是我见到几乎最高的。One of the highest, definitely 90%. Yeah. 然后 Jimmy 老师说他们有101个这个哇非常好记，101个这个老师在学校，然后是4个学生对1个老师，然后每个班级呢大概是平均有12个学生，有147个这个不同的课程，然后10个是叫 signature program， 就是独家的项目。然后17个 AP， 33个这个 advanced classes， 这大家都可以读到。然后一会儿 Jamie 老师会专门给我们介绍这10个独家的 program 项目是什么。Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you, Diego. All right. Another just sort of a place to start for us is learning a little bit more about our place, right?
Okay.
Very important to Berkshire. We're located at the base of Mount Everett. I'd mentioned that's my favorite part of campus here in Sheffield, Massachusetts, which is really the heart of the Berkshire Hills. Our area is popular. It's a very popular destination for world-renowned arts and culture. It's a truly spectacular setting. And as you can see, this picture is just at the beginning of the fall, which is a really amazing time to be in New England. And actually, just as sort of again, putting ourselves in our place, the Appalachian Trail is a 20-minute hike from our back door, which is a through hike about 2,000 miles that starts in the state of Georgia down south and goes all the way up to the state of Maine. So we're right there.
Okay. How many miles you said it was from? Jamie?
So right from our campus, it's a 20-minute hike.
20 minutes.
Just right up our trails.
Okay, about 2 miles, something like that. Yeah.
Probably, yeah, even a little less.
Okay, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Another one before they ask, can you kind of put For those who don't know, put Sheffield, Massachusetts on the map for them. Like how far is it, like driving distance from, let's say, major city, Boston?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like a perfect triangle. We are 2.5 hours north of New York City and 2.5 hours
Okay.
west of Boston.
哦，OK，OK，perfect。我先跟大家说一下，因为这个大家可能不知道这个 Sheffield 这个，因为 Berkshire School 在这个 Sheffield Massachusetts 麻省。然后我刚才问一下，它这个是这个跟因为大城市大家都知道嘛，跟这些大城市距离，他说了就是他们是在纽约北边的开车2.5个小时，然后是 Boston 的应该是东边 East right East or West of Boston East。
We are west of Boston.
Boston 的西边就是往那个加州那个方向，从海那边也是2.5个小时，所以正好是纽约、Boston 和这个 Sheffield。刚才 Jamie 老师说是一个三角啊，然后呢，还有一个 Jamie 老师最喜欢的就是学校走20分钟就可以到一个叫 Appalachian Trail， 这个在美国是非常著名的，因为它从那个乔治亚州一直会到那个叫缅因州，应该叫 Maine 中文是缅因州，这么长的是一个美国非常历史非常悠久的这样的就是徒步的路线。我知道很多人，包括我的妹妹，当时跟她的这个丈夫在做了一个很小的一部分，但已经花了他们1周时间了，所以这个是非常有挑战的。Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jamie. I was saying, my sister actually, with her husband, did part of the Appalachian Trail before, and even after a couple of days, they still only have gone a small part of it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's very long.
Long.
People will
Very
take
long.
almost a half year to hike it.
Yeah, half year, right. How far have
Yes.
you, how much have you done on the trail, if I may
Not
ask?
much, just the little bits that are here
Little
around
bits.
us.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's really neat to
Right.
be able to explore just around here. We can go up to this little pond called Gilder
Okay.
Pond. It's
Uh-huh.
a popular destination for our mountain day, which is a really big tradition of ours.
OK，Jamie 老师说他这个也没有走整个的，因为走整个的这个 trail 需要半年的时间所以 Jamie 老师也是这个今天走一点儿，明天走一点儿，然后但是他学生都会喜欢在他们附近的这个就是徒步路线上有一个湖或者一个池塘，学生都很喜欢去玩儿。
Again, just sort of naming location. As Diego mentioned, we are 2.5 hours north of New York City, 2.5 from Boston. Nearby, we have this little town of Great Barrington, which is pictured in the top right here. And that's a spot where we will shuttle kids to on weekends if they'd like to go out and grab a bite to eat at restaurants with friends, walk around and shop, or maybe grab some ice cream. And most of our international students will fly in to either JFK in New York City or into Boston Logan International, just to, again, give you a sense of what our international students are up to. And otherwise, these two pictures are right on our campus. We have a stream on campus coming down from the mountain, and pictured here is Berkshire Hall on the left, with students, doing some art in our beautiful setting.
That's beautiful. Jamie 老师说了这个就是右上角大家看这个小镇的话叫 Barrington，然后学生的话学校会周末用这个大巴车把他们送过去，然后学生可以在这个城市里边玩，然后看电影吃饭等等，就是有课外活动在周末。然后剩下左边的照片和右下角的照片呢，都是学校的 campus 了。然后的这个像左边的话是那个学校的主要的建筑，然后右边的话就是附近的草坪，然后大家可以看在做这个艺术的油画，因为都是可以说在这个 Berkshire 的话，就是风景如画，天天，所以就是学生可以有很好的这个绘画的机会，做这个丙烯等等油画的机会，所以非常安全，而且很温馨感觉。OK。
Just to dive a little bit deeper into our campus here, we are very fortunate, as you saw from the aerial view, to have a very beautiful 420-acre campus. And truly, the campus wouldn't be what it is without our people, of course. But our facilities definitely do add that additional touch in what makes Berkshire Berkshire. Just to give you an idea, we have 10 dorms on campus, most of which have been renovated within the last decade. And in fact, all of our buildings are endowed, meaning if they need any more updating, we will not have to dip into our endowment. 5 of those dorms are female, 5 are male, and we're keeping an eye on hopefully having a gender inclusive dorm, which students will be able to opt into hopefully next year, starting next year. We also have 3 academic hubs, including a research lab, a lecture hall, and I know a lot of students when they visit campus love to see our makerspace. We have a flight simulator in there and as part of our aviation program, and an electron microscope. I think we're one of maybe 10 schools, high schools in the country to have an electron microscope.
Just a second. That's a that was a mouthful. Okay. Actually, just a clarification, Jamie. And when you say no need to reach into endowment for the modification of the dorms, I missed that. Why is that?
Because our buildings are endowed. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay. So
we're very
somebody
fortunate.
so whoever endowed it will support the renovation. Is
Right.
that correct?
In perpetuity.
The person.
Yep.
Okay, perpetuity. Okay,
Yeah.
that's something good to have. Yes,
Yeah.
perpetuity. Yeah. OK，老师说的话，他们有5个这个男生的宿舍和5个女生的，然后他们可能未来还会建一个就是男生女生都有的宿舍。但是这几个宿舍呢，其实他们不用担心它任何的老化或者设备的这个不健全。为什么呢？因为这些宿舍都是别人捐献的啊，都是 endowed。然后它会有 perpetuity，意味着这个大家如果学金融这个词是非常好的，就是说到永久都会有人花钱把这个更新啊等等，所以他们都不用这个用自己的这个学校的基金来改善学生的生活。这个说明侧面来说就是财大气粗啊，可以这么说，有很多这个人来支持他们杰出的校友。第二呢，就是他们这个在里边大家可以看看有非常好的就是非常新的球场。各种各样的球，然后这里边是好像有壁球、有篮球然后还有这个瑜伽室，然后还有他们老师尤其说他们有3个叫 academic hub， 就是大家可以在里边学习和一起成长的，并且他们有这个就喜欢飞行的，喜欢这个就是跟飞行有关的，他们还有一个飞行的模拟器。包括呢，他们应该是全国10个学校里其中一个有电子显微镜的学校就是大家可以看，不管是艺术、体育还是这个STEM 方面，那 Berkshire 都是有顶级的资源和资本。Thank you, Jimmy. I'll just kind of in my conclusion, I made a joke saying basically it means we're flush. Yeah, with the perpetuity. Yeah, flush is a word, and also not only sports as we can see, but we also in terms of STEM related and also arts and music related, we all have a state-of-art facility and resource for the students.
Yes, absolutely. And getting ahead of me, I wanted to give you some time to translate. In addition to the dorms that I mentioned and the academic hubs, we do I think from we as a school believe in balance. So from the arts standpoint, we have a 500-person theater, a performing arts center, visual arts gallery, digital art and music center, and a recording studio. So those are really fun spaces for students. And then we do have 2 major athletic hubs, which boast 10 squash courts and basketball courts, volleyball, right, a climbing wall, 2 workout facilities, even 2 ice hockey rinks. Speaking as the ice hockey coach, we're pretty spoiled.
Wow.
Yeah. And then just countless fields on campus, which you may have seen in our aerial shot. We've talked about the trails on campus too. And really exciting is that we're really the last building that needs updating for us is our student center, dining hall, and library, which is all in the same building. And that is being updated starting in June. But as you can see, we really have everything you need in one place under the mountain.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not worried about the updating. You guys have plenty of funds. Okay, that's great. Jamie 老师说了，因为我刚才看照片太急了，已经提前说了一些啊。Jamie 老师刚才说我这个说的太快了，但是他就详细的介绍一下，就是大家看了，其实他们的这个就是表演艺术中心是可以容纳500个人的，并且他们有独特的这个录音棚啊等等一系列的，包括这个数字艺术的等等这样的设备。还有他们有2个，大家看了这个 athletic hub，就是叫艺术区域吧，这个可以打篮球，包括他们壁球有，好像老师说有8个，甚至这个多至8个不同的壁球场地，包括有2个，就一个冰球一个冰球场还不够，他们有2个冰球场，所以这个话 Jamie 老师肯定特别高兴，因为他是冰球的这个女子冰球教练。并且呢，他们现在还有3个这个包括 student center 在装修，应该是明年春天装修完，所以这个看起来其实非常全面，就是还是非常富有资源的一个学校，也不愧为排名这个前30的学校之一。那这里我会问 Jamie 老师一个问题啊，因为我在网上也查了一些资料，之前就是 recording studio. So Jamie, just one question for from the parents. Recording studio, actually, I saw information online. Students are free, or we should have the liberty to record any music genre of their choice, right? It doesn't have to be classical or like musical. It could be something like hip hop, right? Or other like
Correct.
jazz. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And that
Okay. There's no discrimination.
No. We want you to
Okay.
be, express yourselves and be as creative as possible. If that means that you're into hip hop, more power to you.
Oh yeah, I want to bring this up. Actually, we have a student in Shanghai. Actually, a couple of years ago, the school forbidden her to have a hip hop club. Yeah,
Ah,
because they said that's not real music. So I'm glad you guys do. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Definitely real
great,
music.
great. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so awesome. We'll move on to talk
Uh-huh.
about some of our program.
Okay.
Per our school motto, learning not just for school but for life. Our programs
Mhm.
really offer real life experiences that teach us lessons that are just as important as our education in the classroom. Again, really believing in balance. But our
Mhm.
programs are rich in experience. They really focus on connection with one another, and they provide that big school opportunity in a small school community. And we'll talk a little bit more about that within our signature programs.
OK。就是学校的这个就是校训呢，其实就是说不要为了学校学习而学习啊，就是要为这个人生而学习。然后其实学校是很倡导一个平衡的，这个大家有个平衡点，所以这个这个 Jamie 老师也会之后呢来谈到这个学校是怎么有不同的这个项目来平衡这个学生的学习点的。
So our signature programs provide our students, like I said, with that big school opportunity. And they're designed to expand minds, provide real world experiences, and help distinguish our students in an increasingly competitive college process. We have 10 offerings. Here's sort of a list of them. I'd encourage you all to go to our website and learn a little bit more about them. We will talk at length about the Advanced Math Science Research Program, which is personally my favorite of the 10. And
Okay.
I was a philosophy major, so I'm not even really a math science person. But these programs, as we think about, especially again, the college process, really allow students to start to differentiate themselves aside from taking sort of AP courses and things like that. These are opportunities that really stand out to our to college admission folk.
Okay. One question. So the format, some are in pink and some are in
Oh,
gray.
yeah, that does
Why?
that doesn't
Oh,
have any
doesn't
meaning.
matter.
That's just
Okay,
poor
okay. I thought it
design on
has a
my
meaning.
part.
Okay. Okay, no, that's fine. I'll try to sort them out to see what, like, if one's STEM and one's like liberal arts. Okay, got
Yeah,
it. So these are the 10 signature programs, right? Altogether.
correct. Yep, and
Okay.
we'll talk about at length about the advanced math science.
OK，这个是这个 Berkshire 独家的，叫10个这个独家的这个项目啊，翻译过来就是10个独家项目，就像我们点菜时它有必点，那这个就是他们的独特的10个项目。然后呢，老师其实他虽然是哲学，以前是哲学系的，学哲学，但是他最喜欢的就是这个第一个，大家看 Advanced Math Science Research，就是高等的数学和科学的科研项目。那这个的话，我相信很多中国的学生和家长肯定也很在意，因为数学和这个科学 STEM 方面也是很多中国孩子擅长的。那接下来 Jamie 老师会帮我们解析一下。OK，Thanks。
So as mentioned, talk about again my personal favorite of our signature programs, just because of how amazing the opportunities are for our students in this course in particular. It's a year-long course, offers students a very authentic, independent lab experience to design and execute an original research project of their choice. And that can be in biology, can be in the physical sciences, social sciences, econ, and environmental science as well. But what sets our course apart is really the design of the program, in which students are basically an intern with a professional scientist to conduct real world research and in our world-class facilities. The course culminates with a critical review paper, a research paper, and both are in scientific format. Dr. Birch, who's pictured here, runs our program. She's a former.
So you're saying the students.
Go ahead, Diego.
Oh no, sorry, you got cut off for a second, so I thought you stopped. Okay, go. Sorry.
So Dr. Birch, who's
Go ahead.
pictured here, she runs the program. And as a former research scientist herself, it's been her sort of dream job to have a research lab for high school students. So we're very lucky she's living out her dream here at Berkshire.
这个我翻译一下，这个老师说挺长的。这个首先呢，这个10个独特的项目呢，每一个项目都会有1年啊。这个所以 Advanced Math and Science 研究项目的话，数学和科学研究也会有1年长。然后其实1年的这个期间呢，学生会跟这个专业的科学家可以一起来探索和研究一个真实的一个解决，不管是真实社会问题还是未解决的一个研究来做出贡献。所以他们在一起呢，在1年长的话，会在实验室等等做一系列的实验，然后到最后也可能会发表论文一起来发表一些学术的论文。那在这个里边，图中下边呢是他们在学校的一个长期的一个研究老师。以前的话也是在科研方面有这个杰出的贡献在自己的科研领域有杰出的贡献。Sorry, Jamie, since I accidentally try to review something I didn't know. So which area is she in her research prior or now?
So
like what's the
yeah, so Dr. Birch, that's a good question. I am not entirely sure what her specific research was. She's sort of like a jack of all trades. She kind of does it all, but I think the reason that she has the mentor research scientists, professional researchers, is because she acknowledges she doesn't know everything. But she's well connected and able to get our students working with really, college professors and college researchers, university researchers. So it's a really neat design.
Okay, and she's the one in the white, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 然后我刚才没记住名字，这叫 Dr. Birch。然后我刚才其实问了一下，这老师系校，因为他有以前很强的科研背景，所以学生的话，其实不管喜欢哪方面的科研，他都可以把他们联系到，就比如说在外界的这种各个科目的教授，然后跟学生一起来探讨和做科研项目所以这个是非常了不起的。然后他的位置就是帮助每一位学生可以达到自己的可以在自己喜好的方面做更深的研究和跟外界的专家联系起来。 Yeah, I think she's great. Yeah, I would like to have somebody like that. And this
Yeah,
actually, Jamie, just let you know, actually, this is a lot of our students do that, but it's really offered in Chinese schools, and so they have to seek outside help to do these kind of research projects. I'm
right.
so glad to see it's done Berkshire. Yeah，然后我
Yeah,
跟 Jamie 老师说，这个其实在中国的高中很少见。嗯
yeah, great. All right, so we'll talk a little bit. Oh, got a little bit further ahead than we wanted to here. Hold on.
One more thing, Jamie, can you
Yes.
go back a little bit to that slide? And
Yeah.
on the bottom left, there were some examples. Do you
Oh,
kind of want
yeah.
to share like the Lockheed Martin project? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, here are just a handful of examples of what our students are working on
Mm-hmm.
this year. So we
Mm-hmm.
have 36 projects. Actually,
Wow.
I think this might be the first year where there are more female students than male students in
Okay.
our research lab, which is awesome. But they're working on
Yeah.
a number of things. So, for our advanced um, environmental science research, we have kids sort of researching red tide. Another student who's working on coral reef restoration. So he's actually built his own sort of coral reef within the classroom, and seeing ways in which we can sort of keep them alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then another student who is studying sort of the intensification of storms due to climate change.
Mm-hmm.
But a really, really cool sort of more maybe like engineer type
Okay.
of project that's being worked on right now is two students working together with Lockheed Martin,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of military security. One of those
Wow.
students is from Hong Kong, and the other is here from New Hampshire, here in the
Wow.
U.S. So it's pretty cool to see them working together.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, having a kid from Hong Kong working in Lockheed Martin, because I actually have a friend working there, and it's very highly classified stuff. So that's must be
Yeah.
pretty exciting for the students.
Yeah, and
Okay.
this is his second project. He actually last year worked on a drone project that focuses on sort of on saving and rescuing in the ocean. So finding survivors that get sort of,
Wow.
thrown
Okay.
overboard.
Wow, that's great. Okay, I'll translate this right now. So 36 project，老师说这个今年呢，其实做这个 Math Science 的这个独家项目，其实女生比男生还多了。然后呢，其实有36个项目今年，然后这个里边包括很多像珊瑚礁啊，像这个帮助重建珊瑚礁，包括这个intensification，就是把不同的风暴把它等级化和作为分析。然后我觉得最有意思的话是一个当地学生和一个香港的学生，他们在这个如果大家不知道，家长不知道这个 Lockheed Martin，它是等于是美国军方的，等于是有点像中国的，比如说这个叫什么航空二院啊，什么这种航空航天二院这种，其实是很有军方机密的。然后他们在研究一个就是无人机，然后无人机可以在海上来探测和这个检查一些这个需要的事件，所以我觉得非常有意义啊。然后我刚才跟 Jamie 老师说了，其实这种项目在中国高中还是比较少的，因为一是人太多，老师可能管不过来；第二呢，就是也缺乏这种跟这么高科技和科学界相连的项目。Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Diego.
Mhm.
So we'll talk a little bit now about our international program, probably of interest to all of you.
Right.
And so this year we're about 16% international, meaning we have roughly 70 students of our full student body. And this year we proudly wave the flags of 39 different countries. All are hanging in our dining hall, each flag representing a student or faculty member and the country that they represent on our campus. Yeah. And then,
Wow.
we definitely acknowledge that you are sending your child really far away from home. So something Berkshire does very well generally is supporting our students. Certainly, we keep that in keen mind when thinking about our international families. Um, so we really make an investment in our people, right? Students create long-lasting relationships, and truly live into our core values of curiosity, integrity,
Right,
respect,
right.
perseverance,
Uh-huh.
resilience, and inclusion.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I see. I already can see the Chinese flag. I think it's
Yeah.
on the first two girls in white are holding it. Yeah,
Yep.
and I see on the bottom right there's the Chinese Lunar New Year, which is this year
Yes.
is end of January this year. It's actually early this year. It changes
Yeah,
every
right.
every year. Yeah, that's pretty
And
cool.
and we'll so we actually have a full school celebration of the Lunar New Year,
Okay.
and that is now 4 or 5 years running. So
Okay.
that's another sort of tradition that we've sort of created and really love, and that's really led by our Asian student sort of affinity group. So
Okay.
yeah.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Yeah, I hope people get to try Chinese dumplings. That would be nice.
Yeah, they're certainly probably not as good as at home, but our dining hall does their best,
Okay,
and
that's good to know. So yeah, make them
yeah,
feel like at home.刚才
exactly.
Jamie 老师说了，这个 Berkshire 他们有16%的学生是来自于海外的，然后呢，这个大概就是70个学生左右，来自于39个不同的国家。虽然我听了这个数据，我觉得16%可能算是中等，稍微还偏低一点儿吧。但是来自于39个国家，我觉得这个真的是非常非常这个独特了。因为一般的话不会来自于这么多国家啊，虽然数字可能比他们多，但是这个不会来自于那么多国家，等于是每个国家当然中国肯定会是一个大国，那等于平均每个国家的学生这个才2个人啊，所以但是是非常非常就是全面的，而且有包容性的，还有这个不同的这个区分的。然后呢，老师说了，其实每年呢，这个包括我刚才底下大家看了这个有中国新年的庆祝。那今年的话，我刚才跟老师说会早一点1月底就是中国新年了。然后呢，他说在 Berkshire 庆祝中国的新年已经4到5年的历史了。然后他们会一天这个整个学校的学生都会一起来庆祝中国的新年。然后包括我刚才也看到，在左上的图片是应该穿白衣服的2个中国女生在拿着中国的国旗，所以这个也是他们的这个3月3号的一个活动，就是各个国家的人都会在这个上台来讲他们自己国家的文化等等。嗯，Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Diego.
嗯
Yeah. We'll move on to talk a little bit about our college counseling program, which again I acknowledge is typically a big driver in thinking about going away for a U.S. boarding school
嗯
experience. So I mentioned we invest in people. So we do not view our relationship with our families as a 3 to 4 year relationship, but much
嗯
more long term. So hence the help in college placement. We have a very thriving alumni network of 6,500 alum,
嗯
spanning 72 countries and growing. So we're worldwide, despite being a
Right.
small school. Yeah, and then through that network, being able to help with careers and again just creating relationships, which is so important. Our college counseling program is truly one of a kind. 80% of our students apply early action or early decision.
Okay.
We have a number of full-time college counselors on campus. So we have a 25-to-1 student to counselor ratio. So they're
嗯
working with sort of a small group. We'll call it sort of a team
嗯
of kids. And we're lucky to have just about over 110 college representatives visit our campus each year. They
嗯
meet with students, they might do some interviews and just generally share more about their college or university. And then overall, our goal is to help students find an appropriate match for their university experience,
嗯
and truly have done quite well. Our students from China represent very competitively in the college admission
嗯
process. And
Right.
often our students are admitted into some of the country's top colleges and universities. And as you can see on the graphic here, 90% of our students enroll in Barron's. And Barron is a sort of publication about colleges, but our kids enroll 90% in their most or highly competitive schools.
Okay, got it. Allow me to translate. 老师 actually before that, so
Yeah.
about the counseling for college application, when does that usually kick off? I
Good
would like to,
question.
give that.
Yeah, so our students will begin working with our college counselors typically in the junior year, 11th grade. And
Okay.
certainly we have a number of students who will collaborate between our college counseling office and perhaps a counselor that you've hired, right? A consultant.
Right,
like
right.
Diego.
Independent consultant, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
IEC, right? Okay,
Yep.
like us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, a lot of Chinese students do that. 老师说，其实我刚刚问了一个问题啊，就是他们什么时候？因为老师很注重，因为他其实已经很清晰的意识到，很多家长提前把孩子送到美高的话，其实是为他们有更好的申请结果。那在 Berkshire 他们也是非常重视，从高三的时候就已经开始了啊，就是来帮助学生来考虑申请大学，然后他们是每25个学生都会匹配一个申请这个大学的老师顾问，在学校的内部的这个申请老师，然后呢，他们的话其实他们的策略也是早开始。然后早结束，大家看了80%他们的学生都是会申请 EA 和 ED，然后呢，老师也很自豪的说，就是他们的学生其实这个大部分都是能申请到头部的大学，90%呢都是在这个 Barron 杂志里申请到他们所谓的就是最竞争最激烈的或者是很激烈的学校因为竞争最激烈的这个很多都是可能是藤校了，然后更激烈的就是比较激烈的话，肯定也是在前30，所以他们的这个录取率还是非常好的。然后这个我们先留一下，之后我会悄悄跟那个帮助家长跟老师提问更具体的这个数据。Okay, got it. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you. All right. Let's see. Let's go talk a little bit about if you are interested in pursuing a Berkshire education.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we get in?
So yeah, exactly. So and certainly we plenty of other things to cover as far as sort of community and co-curriculars and things like that go, but I'm happy to answer some questions in the Q&A. But taking a look at sort of, how to pursue a Berkshire education. Last year, we had roughly 1,500 applicants. And again, I think I mentioned before, our student body is 425 this year. But we had a 19% acceptance rate last year. So we've become a fairly, highly selective school, which is a good place to be. Yeah. And if you're interested in applying, you might be asking yourself, is Berkshire the right fit for me, the right match? But I encourage you to continue to get to know our school through our website, have an idea of sort of what you're looking for in a school and see how our messaging lines up with your wants and needs. We do not provide ESL courses, so English as a second language. English abilities must be strong on the way in. Our average TOEFL of a mainland China applicant is 109. If you feel like you're an open-minded student and you embody our core values, then Berkshire might be a nice match for you. And then I can talk about our requirements. I'll give Diego some time to translate.
Yeah, it's okay to go back to your previous slide, Jamie?
Yes.
Thanks. 老师说了，这个挺恐怖的就我一看有1460个人申请，然后有19%的这个录取率然后其实每年这个录取率就是在这个变得更低 这个的话，我们简单乘一下啊，这个大概是多少个学生？So因为它这个不代表中国学生。So actually, Jamie, this 19% actually is everybody, right? Includes everybody.
That's everybody.
Okay, can you give me a little bit breakdown of roughly maybe how many Chinese applicants and for example, how many you accept each year? Yeah.
Yep. So we had 125 roughly applicants from mainland China last year,
Okay.
and we ended up enrolling. We tend to enroll 4 students a year. Right now, we have 16 students from mainland China.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
even. For each year, right?
Yeah.
Total. 16 total. Okay, got it. So okay, with that I can explain a little bit better. 所以这1460是总共的学生，然后录取率19%，19%。但是呢，中国学生就肯定达不到了，因为我刚一乘的话，不可能那么多中国学生，所以每年申请的话是差不多125个中国学生，然后呢，每年他们会录取4个，所以现在在 Berkshire 一共16个中国学生。那这个这个录取率的话，其实也这个比20%要少多了啊。这个也就是算一下啊，这个的话大概是也就是5%都不到，所以这个的话咱们就不用参考19%了。然后老师呢说，中国学生平均的话，托福的话是109分啊。所以也是非常高的，因为大家知道申请美本的话，今天这个之前我们刚直播了一个录取到那个 CMU 的这个同学，他申请 CMU 被录取了 ED，他的托福成绩也就是109申请的时候，所以还是非常卷的，而且呢 Berkshire 不提供任何的 ESL class， 刚才 Jamie 老师说了，就是 English as a second language 就是学生的，所以为什么托福这么高？希望学生能达到一个自然交流的水准，在去 Berkshire 之前。Yeah, Jamie, I was just referring to the talk I gave on the student of ours who got in ED admission for CMU. Actually, her TOEFL score was exactly 109. So it just yeah, I don't know what to say. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's a very very competitive. Yeah, we're talking about high school. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and yes, I think at a time we did offer ESL, and now in a place where we need kids to hit the ground running. Just the rigor of the classroom has become a bit higher here,
Right.
and which is great. And like I said before, it still offers that balance of being rigorous, will push you outside your comfort zone, and really you're going to get to be very well known as a student by peers, by adults, and be well supported. So we're not a pressure cooker in that way. We're looking for students who are curious and who have fun learning. We think you're going to get a lot more out of learning if you enjoy it.
就是老师说这肯定挑战是必然的因为这个他们对学生要求很高，但它并不是一个高压锅，就是不停的给学生压不同的就是课程等等的一系列的压力，他希望学生有自己的探索意愿，而且自己想学，所以他们理念我觉得还是非常好的。那我在这儿也为各位家长问一句就是除了这个托福，是不是还有标化对中国学生的要求？Jamie, one question definitely people would like to ask is, now policy change from year to year. Right now, is there like a standardized test for such SSAT requirement?
So no, right now we are test optional. We're in year 3 of a 3-year pilot of that. So we will be gathering more data about sort of how students are performing, whether or not they took the test. So we had a sense that maybe the SSAT did not indicate success at our school. I will say from most of our international applicants will submit a SSAT, and certainly if you perform well, then that will elevate your application. And so our average SSAT score for our mainland China applicants is 95 percentile.
Okay, 95 percentile. So roughly translate maybe like 23 2300-ish. I don't know. It's a little hard to translate. It depends. Something like that, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, be frank, because some schools say it's optional, but then people submit it, then you don't know if it's being looked at or not. One
Right.
school said definitely we would not look at it, even if you submit it, it would not better your chances. But yeah, thank you for saying at least it's clear. Like if the score is high, it may add some value, right? That's what you're saying.
Definitely. Right.
Okay.
Absolutely. And if you feel like it doesn't give you if it doesn't represent who you are as a student or your abilities as a student, then don't
Don't
submit.
submit.
That
Okay.
won't hurt you either. But if you've done well, that
Okay.
will help.
OK，大家要问老师了，这个所有家长都想关注的就是 SSAT。老师说这个他们已经3年了，因为3年不需要提交 SSAT 了，因为他们觉得其实也在想 SSAT 成绩是不是不代表真正学生的这个成功率啊，就是在学校表现的这个能力，所以他们已经3年不要求了。但是呢，肯定要为家长问一句，就是他们收不收？他们还是收的。然后不像之前我们访谈的学校，就是收到也不看。那 Jamie 老师今天说了，那个老师已经说了，就是他们还是会看的。如果这个递交的成绩好的话，对你有帮助的话，就应该递交；如果递交成绩不好，没有帮助的话，那肯定就是可以不递交啊。Sorry, Jamie, I was referring to SSAT. The I was mentioning. Yeah,
Yes.
not SAT. Okay.
Right. SSAT. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. Well, certainly, with hopefully your takeaway here is that with our amazing programs and beautiful location, our state-of-the-art facilities, truly at the end of the day, we really care about people. And we believe by creating a happy, healthy environment, by creating lasting relationships, our students are going to be more willing to get outside of their comfort zone and grow and perform at their best. So thank you for joining me this evening, and I hope you've taken something away about what makes Berkshire, and I look forward to fielding your questions.
Yeah, okay. I think we do have some questions online. Thank you very much, Jamie. That was lots of good information. One thing I think parents would like to ask first is how to get in, and I think you answered that question pretty well. Another follow-up question is it ever possible to get in like 10th grade, or is it impossible almost?
No,
Like
it depends on the year. We'll keep an eye definitely on 10th grade applications, with the hopes of maybe taking 1 or 2, depending on the year.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, sometimes they have emergency transfers, and we handle the cases like that. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
or we've
good
had
to know.
students who have already repeated, so they can't use that year, or a little too old to do that. But we'll definitely have a lot of repeat 9th grade applicants too.
Okay, right. Yeah, either they apply from 8th grade to 9th grade, or they go from 9th to 9th. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that's good to know. Another question is, I think you probably, from looking at the pictures, it's a no-brainer, but as you said, children or students travel so far away from parents, safety is one of their concerns. So either on campus and off campus, has it always been safe at Berkshire?
Definitely. And by design of our campus, we're really one road in, one road out. And we have a full sort of security team in that way. And we're really a place that is promoting inclusivity as much as we can. And while we're not perfect at it by any means, we have a zero tolerance policy around xenophobia, bullying, any of that. So we definitely feel that we're a safe place. I think the pandemic probably has made us better and more aware, especially in paying attention to our international students. So yeah, we're definitely a safe place, and Great Barrington is this fun little town that again, our students are able to go enjoy, can be themselves. And I think that's something I really appreciate about our kids, that I've heard them say, is that they feel like they can be themselves here, and that is such a gift, especially in high school.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. That's good to know. And I'm glad you're taking care of the international students during like the COVID, right? All these
Yeah,
last couple of years, it's been up and downs, all over the place, China and the
definitely.
US. OK，
Yeah.
就老师说这个城市啊，包括学校的风格，其实都是很照顾孩子，尤其是在这个疫情的其中，其实他们很关心孩子的健康、身体健康。然后包括Jamie 老师，他也是一个就是当他一个宿舍的这个管理员。And Jamie, I mentioned you're actually one of the head of one of the house, right? So you definitely take
Correct.
care of the kids in the house. Yeah，所以 Jamie 老
Absolutely.
师也是亲力亲为的，然后这个在管理他的这个学生们，所以这个非常好。然后我觉得这个安全问题应该是没有什么说，大家刚才照片已经都看到了。Since actually in China, actually Berkshire is known as one of the top 30 boarding schools. I think you mentioned about the parents statistics, but can you give a little bit more idea, like what would they rate as like excellent? I remember like the word was excellent, or what was it, competitive? Yeah, can you name some of the matriculation stats of Chinese
Absolutely.
students? I think parents would mainly care about the Chinese students. Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
to give you a sense, over the last maybe 5 years, so of recent years, our Chinese students have matriculated to schools like Boston College, Brown
Mhm.
University, which is an Ivy, Carnegie Mellon, especially
Mhm.
for like engineering,
Mhm.
Columbia in New York
Mhm.
City, Cornell
Mhm.
and Dartmouth, both
Mhm.
Ivies, Harvard, Middlebury, NYU, Northwestern,
Wow.
Diego,
Okay.
Northwestern
Yeah.
grad.
Thank you for
You,
mentioning that. Yeah.
yeah, University of Pennsylvania and
Mhm.
University of Virginia. So just to give you a
Okay.
sense of the last few years for mainland China.
Okay. Okay. And these are mainland China. Okay. Great. That's amazing. 这
Yeah.
个 Jamie 老师，我必须得让他说一下，就是以前中国学生的走向去了哪儿老师说了，这个去了布朗去了这个波士顿大学，去了那个卡耐基梅隆就是刚才今天我之前直播的，就是我们学生今年被录取的 CMU 尤其是理工方向，他去了哥伦比亚、康奈尔、哈佛、NYU。UPenn 宾大还有 University of Virginia，所以大家一般听过的这些个不管是大藤还是刚才还帮你说 Middlebury 像这种文理学院的话，其实这个每年学生尤其是中国学生都会是他们的走向，所以一旦进了 Berkshire 也可以说半只脚肯定就进前30前20的这个大学了我觉得这个数据非常好Thanks Jamie, I think people are very happy to hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
A token of confidence. They already know it's very good, right? They want to hear from you. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
And then the product on the other side. I get it.
that's great. I think there's most of the questions. It's pretty good. I think one parents want to add that they knew the Berkshire has a program where students can get their pilot license, right, for flying airplanes.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, we have an aviation science course that's part of our signature programs. I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we have a flight simulator on campus. So we do have an aviation club in which students in the 9th and 10th grade, maybe 11th, are able to at least get an introduction to aviation. And then there are requirements in order to be able to participate in the class, which is a 1-semester class in the spring. And usually 12 students will end up participating in it, but you've had to have an advanced or an AP physics course for science. And then typically you've had to have already had maybe calc or pre-calc or calc. And a lot of our mainland China students are coming in as 9th graders taking a higher level math than most of our 9th graders. So they usually achieve those things.
Okay, and that's required for this before the aviation.
For
Okay.
aviation, yep. And then we have, so our students in the spring on Sundays will go to Great Barrington Airport, which is a tiny little airport, and you have, again, the ability to learn how to fly a plane and work towards your license, which is pretty amazing. Very unique.
Okay, so study first and they will have the treat later. Okay, that's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
老师说这个他们其实学生必须得上这很多课，包括这个微积分包括这个物理等等这些课程，然后他们还可以上 这个选择上一个就是飞行课，然后飞行课的话，他们可以在附近一个非常小机场，叫 Great Barrington 机场，然后这个学习飞行，然后最后拿到他们的执照。然后这里我可能会跟 Jamie 老师透露一下，当时我们学校也有，但当时我只是不知情，我觉得飞这个好危险啊，然后后来才知道后悔。就是在高中的话是一个很好的机会上这个课，然后老师这个给的关注又多又很便宜，就可以拿到这个执照。Yeah, Jamie, add a little bit more anecdote to that because our high school had a two back in Wisconsin. But back then I was like, wow, this must be dangerous. Why would I do that? And now I regret it. Yeah, it's like back
Yeah.
then I just wonder why everybody else is doing it. I never want to do it. And now I wish I've done it. So yeah,
Right.
if we tutor any kid that's going to Berkshire, we will encourage them to do so. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, I think that's all the questions, and I think we're pretty clear about the good things that's happening at Berkshire. I hope when we have students that aspire to go to Berkshire, we can share your presentation with them and also direct them to you to give them a chance to interview and fill in their application.
Yeah, please do, Diego. And again, thank you so much for allowing us to present to your families. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. 现在的话，其实我们非常感谢 Jamie 老师给我们带来的直播，让我们更好了解了 Berkshire 这个排名寄宿美高前30的顶级高中。今天也认识了他们的强项，然后分享这么多有趣的照片，还有我觉得家长可能最这个触动的就是他们的毕业学生走向，真的都是很优秀的美国大学。所以呢，今天呢，我们先结束我们的美高访谈系列，咱们下次再见。Okay, Jamie, I'm so happy to have you. So people want to say goodbye to you and hope to see you on the other side soon. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, folks.
Yeah.
Have a good
Thank you,
evening.
Jamie. Yeah, you too. Have a good morning. Bye-bye.
Bye.